What's up, everyone?
Hey, this is Alex.
It's Mike.
Welcome to the Mike
Evan,
and Alex
and
show.
you're listening to the Mike and Alex show.
Yes, once again, we're doing it all separate here, and so we probably still be interrupting each other.
Yeah. On this cold and rainy Sunday.
Yes, the last Sunday in February here. Oh, thank God it's almost March. And I just letting you guys know I'm not eating any lunch this time. So
perfect. So we don't have to hear the
lunch, or-
chewing.
Yeah. So I want to apologize to anyone that heard that last time. That was me. No.
Yeah, I ate before wisely. You ate before going on here.
I did as well.
Yeah, nice.
Not
So
not that you should give a shit about it, but just.
Did you have a good diet? Hey, how's your diet going? Are you still doing that?
I am.
Well, that was directed at Evan, but yeah.
Yes, I am. Yep, I've lost about 18 pounds or so since the second week of January, and
still no beer.
Cut out all white bread, white potato, white rice, beer, and just being a lot more mindful of things, a lot less snacking, eating a lot more celery and cauliflower and all the stuff you're supposed to eat. So it's and then working out a lot more too. So it's I want to keep that rolling. I kind of want to get down to kind of what wouldn't be considered overweight in the BMI scale. So I think for my height it would be in the 160s or so. I'm not going to be disappointed if I'm not all the way down there, but that would be really nice to do that.
Well, this actually kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about today, because I've been kind of doing like more healthier stuff too, and the part of that does involve picking and choosing if you drink and when you drink and stuff like that. So wanted to talk about that today. Alcohol consumption is my topic for today.
Oh, a lot of people have opinions on that.
I'm sure they do. I wanted to run that by you guys today on that. So I guess for you, Evan, are you drinking anything other than, are you drinking anything like wine now that you're doing this diet? Is that like your new thing?
Well, one, it's primarily some of the, I'll drink wine, I'll drink vodka or something with seltzer water.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I've been doing too.
And those are kind of things that you only have one of. So you're not, I'm not having beer or cider. A part where it would be more acceptable for you to have like multiple ones, and they also like a vodka seltzer is a little more healthier for you than like a beer or.
Right.
It's just, and it's not. It's more. I wasn't really a heavy drinker to begin with, but it's just going more towards vodka seltzers, things like that.
What it is too is I was never a big drinker either, but if you do have those nights that you drink a lot, it just leads to bad habits like eating bad food and stuff. So that's where a lot of weight gain comes.
That's literally where most of my weight gain came from.
Not in my 20s anymore.
Well, the thing is
harder to bounce back.
Well, the thing is, but the thing is, you can do it. Is the point? It's all about moderation and spreading things out. And I think I was watching something or reading something that they said the study says that you can drink about 14 units of alcohol a week and be safe, and that comes out to I think 7 glasses of wine, 6 glasses of beer, or something like that.
So like a glass of wine a day,
something like that. But so it's what they say is actually to drink a couple days. If you're gonna drink all this together, to drink it not obviously all in the same night, but drink it a couple days in a row, and then have a couple days for your liver to regain its consciousness, and then do it again. They don't say drink every day.
Conscious, yeah. I'm a weekend
the way
warrior
they break it down, when they break down the biological of what actually happens when you drink, it is like, oh man, I have been washing my body with toxins.
Yeah, it's true. And the thing is, if you're going to be drinking, it's suggested moderation, and it should be spaced out. Obviously, one thing that the concern is on the flip side of that argument is that if you do it in one sitting, the fear is usually binge drinking.
Right. That's definitely
Yeah. We're Michael and Alex and Evan. We're all a bunch of wild and crazy guys.
Evan's currently drinking right now, as you can see.
Evan's doing his senile old man impression.
No. That was a terrible. What was it, Cleveland?
Yeah, I was gonna. It sounded very Family
Family Guy. But
You
yeah,
can't
no,
see
it's,
me, but my head is shaking in dismay and maybe even a little disgust right now.
in Malaysia.
Or should we say,
Yeah, in Malaysia.
Yeah, I think you have a case of Malaysia.
You have a little
Yeah,
Malaysia going on.
I'm feeling
everybody.
a little Malaysia. For those who don't get that reference, right before we went on air, I was asking Mike a couple of questions. He's like, "You're being very Malaysian." I'm like, "That's a country, man." He's like, "Oh, I think I was looking for Malays." I'm like, keep trying.
Yeah, I meant to say Malays, but I wasn't even using it in the right context to begin with. So the word was just not needed at all. But Malaysia, that's our word for today.
So that's
And it is a country.
it is a country.
Yeah, but they probably drink there. I wonder what the drinking age is in Malaysia.
See. This is the power of Google right here.
Oh, all right. We got a Google guy on the show now. So
we all contribute here on the Mike and Alex show.
it's interesting. I don't know. I was talking to you guys about this too. There was an article that came out that said from the University of California, Irvine this week that said they found people who have had a couple drinks a day, like 1 or 2 beers or 1 or 2 glasses of wine or coffee, tend to live past 90 versus the ones that don't. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of a hippie study, but
yeah, it sounds like a hippie study.
what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you think there's some truth to that, or do you think it's a mix of everything? I think it's a mix of things.
I think everything in moderation is fine.
I mean, it's tough
not
when
everything,
you'd have to do a pretty
everything.
extensive study for that to be like 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Well, what it was, I guess they had like 1,700 people like around the age of 90, and they found the ones that lived the longest were doing these activities. But it was plus also they were doing a 15 to 45 minutes of cardio, and then they had to have and people who had a hobby too lived longer.
So they had something to live for. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So if we still do this podcast,
was,
we're in the
whether it
90s,
was
we'll have
active or
something to
not?
live for. What was that?
Does it matter if the hobby was active or not, or was it like could they be playing checkers in that?
They didn't get into
them?
detail about what the hobbies were, but I think it probably was something like a project or something small like that. I would think.
Plus, don't forget
still-
15 to 45 minutes of physical activity too. So
I think that right there is the
that's
big
what's
thing.
going to do it.
Yeah, I think when you do that, then you can have those couple glasses of wine or beer or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a sociology major in college, so I find these things very interesting, these studies and stuff. So I like to see those. And plus, hey, we all like to have a drink now and then. It's fine. But I think for any of us, we don't overdo it, and it's not a problem. Obviously, none of us have been to rehab, so
we're all
one other
in our
person on the
30s,
podcast
so.
who's a differing opinion, who's a heavy drinker or a teetotaler.
I guess it depends on who you.
What?
I guess it depends on who you
totaler.
Somebody who doesn't drink at all.
Oh yeah,
I've never heard that term.
I've never heard that term before.
I think you've heard that
it's like
from Robin Williams or like the Robin Hood movie or something. The teetotaler.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you're in your 30s, like you get that should already be out of your system. The whole like ridiculous testing your boundaries thing.
It should,
with
but
alcohol.
if you just take a walk downtown to the bars, clearly there's people much, much older that are out there pounding their faces with alcohol.
Yeah, but I don't want to be those people.
No, we don't want to be those people one day. So that's why I'm trying to start early and be like, hey, don't be like that. Don't be like that guy at the bar with the red nose.
Oh my God.
But no, I just find those studies interesting, and I think obviously it's a big topic. It's something that we can all talk about. So, but when you guys do have a drink, what's your drink of choice?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Are we talking just straight up alcohol? Are we talking mixed drink or
milk?
Anything? Does it depend on the occasion? Yeah,
I think it depends on the occasion. Like a night out of drinking, like you might, or like if you're doing like karaoke, you're not going to go crazy pounding scotches. You might just do like a rum and coke just to loosen up a little bit before before you go on the mic. But if you're doing like
right now.
But if you're doing like a meal, you might get a scotch. If you're getting like a steak dinner, you might get a nice little scotch or a glass of wine.
I can't do scotch. Anything going down, I can't do.
I'm not surprised. Anybody who's met Mike knows he can't do scotch.
Yeah. Well, is that a bad thing? Does that make me a bad? I can't handle.
No, of course not.
No, of course not.
I hear a little. Yeah, I knew that.
No.
Everybody's got their thing that they can't handle. My thing is be brandy or anything that burns going down. So
Yeah, I like brandy with steak, or like a Manhattan or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think different drinks go with different occasions or meals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's your opinion. Some people only stick to one thing, though. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. Like some people.
Well, maybe I don't
like
and I don't drink PBR, so that's life.
John Barry, sorry. Anyways,
what, he drinks PBR?
And he loves it. That's the sad part.
I am so disappointed.
He knows what he's getting too.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it's good for
diarrhea.
If you're shooting pool and you just get a picture of it, it can
go
a long way.
Evan, come on.
Yeah, come on. PBR's diarrhea in a can.
If it's $2 for a pitcher of PBR, which I've seen bars like that in Fitchburg, that were that. What was that place by the college? Hooligans or something?
Yeah, that place.
Yeah, there are a couple of places, but Hooligans was one. And what was the one on the street corner that
JR's?
Yeah, that was a
kind of like a little nightclub thing that was kind of dangerous for girls to be walking home after that, but people did. So
yeah. Hence, it's not there anymore.
The Mike and Alex Show, brought to you by PBR. Diarrhea in a can.
Yeah, we knew we have advertisements now. So, although we probably just pissed away PBR as a advertiser. So,
I don't.
Any publicity is good publicity when you're not coming from anywhere. So,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, now if you're on a date and your date wants to drink something specific like a wine, do you join her, or do you get your own drink?
If it's wine, yes.
If it's wine, depends what they're drinking. I don't do white wine, so if they're doing white wine, I'm doing Scotch. If they're doing red wine, I'll join them on the glass.
I agree with you. I'm a red wine guy too. Evan?
Well, red wine. I mean, it depends on it depends on the dinner. If I'm having steak, red wine's good. If I'm having pasta, white wine's good.
Okay, so
like the different sauces.
You blend your drinks with what you're eating.
Yeah, culinary does. That's a culinary thing too, where it's chicken.
No, that probably means you're a good cook. I would think
is white wine and red. Pork and beef is usually
I did
red.
When I was in high school and college. I cooked at like hotel restaurants, things like that for a living. So that's I got a few years' experience under my belt.
No, yeah, that's how you like to drink. Then you mix it with what you're eating.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of people, they'll have pasta and beer together, and just for me, doesn't work.
I don't get
pasta and beer, nah.
Yeah,
I can do pizza and beer. There's a ton of carbs in that.
It's the starch of the pasta that doesn't work well with it.
No. So actually, what I was kind of getting at too, since the last time I had a beer, it wasn't like super long ago. It was so it was the 10th of February, the night before we did our last podcast.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to kind of see, like, I had a vodka soda last night out with, just out and about.
With his girlfriend?
No, but I kind of, Evan, you got me thinking, maybe cut out beer for a little while. So I'm going to see how long I can go without try to avoid it and just stick with like a mixed drink, I think is how I want to proceed for the time being.
Yeah, more power to you.
There you go.
I don't think it won't last super long because later this year I'm going to a bachelor party, which is going to be at a brewery in Vermont. So there goes that by September.
Bachelor parties, you can't be the only guy. Well, I mean, you can.
No. And I'm not a type of person, like I said, I'm not a big drinker, but I've never been a person that makes proclamations like, I am never going to do this again. Like, that's just dumb. Yeah, like I would go drinking again, and then pause with the Bob Saget voice. He went out drunk the next night.
No, I think the minute you say never, you're kind of limiting yourself anyway.
Yeah, so. And it's just unnecessary stress you're putting in. Like, why say I'm never gonna do this again? Like, hey, if you feel like having a beer, have a beer. Like a nice summer day, I'll have a beer.
Yeah.
But also, I think seasons play a role in it. For me, anyways, like Evans for food. I think mine is seasons, like margaritas in the summer for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe location.
Shipyard pumpkin in the fall.
Ew. Who drinks pumpkin beer?
I do.
I love it.
Outnumbered.
I'm not outnumbered. I know our listeners. Our listeners
beer.
are also hearing this and
If I
going,
drink
"Wow,
pumpkin beer,
those
I
guys
feel like
are doing
the strength
pumpkin
of 1,000
beer."
men.
Gross.
No, hey, I agree with Evan. I think we're gonna find a beer that we all like can partner up on each other and like that one person won't here. So Evan and I like pumpkin beer.
And
Alex and I like red wine. And there's probably
like
and you
wine,
two
too.
like brandy, right?
What?
You two like brandy. Gosh,
I
don't
like
you?
brandy.
Brandy's not bad.
Yeah, I don't.
Yes, we know.
Maybe we should poll our listeners at the end and find out what they.
You're not really you're not really a hard alcohol guy.
No. Oh, me?
You're a beer and wine dude.
No, not at all. If you just, I just said I'm not drinking beer.
Yeah, but you said you like margaritas.
I like
That's
margaritas. True. I like mixed drinks. I like a vodka soda. I am trying to I'm trying to do like a healthy, try to get into better shape for the summer. And I think a way of doing that is to limit your carb intake, like Evan's been doing.
Yeah.
And so he kind of inspired me to stop drinking beer for a little while. So.
Oh, thanks. It means a lot.
Yeah. So we can all take something out of these podcasts, if anything.
Yeah.
I guess.
Alex, you don't approve.
I'm not against it. I've reduced my carb intake too, so I'm not arguing. It's been working.
What was the last drink you had, Alex?
I can't remember the last drink I had. I think the last drink I had was a seltzer and rum, and I think that was at end of January.
Yeah, you were always a big rum and Coke guy.
Yeah, and as you said, I was a rum and Coke guy, and then I was a Scotch guy.
I was rum and Coke back in the day. I think like right after college.
When you're in college and it works.
College it's great in college. There's a ton of sugar in rum and Cokes, but it's a good drink. You can have you could have that once in a while. And the only reason I'm like hitting that point home is because I've seen a couple, like I was watching some old school WWF wrestlers, found out a lot of them drank and stayed in good shape. Like Rick Rude, he drank. So. Yeah, I mean, you can do both. I think people think it's one or the other, Well,
wrestle or drink or?
No, like be an athlete and like you have to be totally athlete, straight edge, healthy lifestyle, or you just be the other way around, like a partier. Like no, like you could be you could be an athlete, like a football player, and have a beer and still be in great shape, or a wrestler.
Well, but remember when you're talking athlete level, whether it's pro wrestler, football player, baseball player, basketball player, etc. Yeah, they're having their cocktails, but they're also what they're putting into their system nutritionally is affecting it.
And also their workouts.
Their workouts. Most of them, like football players, are training like year round at this point.
Right. But their caloric intake needs to there's room for a little bit of indulgence when you're burning that high amount of calories. But again, you want to be reasonable and moderate. Well, that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. Like some people like binge drink and then they like wonder why they got fat, or like, or they wonder why they feel like crap the next day. Like,
eating a whole pizza at 2 a.m. is not going to cut it.
Well, that's really the big issue. They say is the drinking is one thing, but it's also because your inhibitions are down, and you're like screw it all. Like nobody says like I'm gonna make a nice like green bean salad after they've been drinking. People
maybe
challenge accepted.
I was just gonna say that sounds like something Evan would do. Actually, it's like, you know what? I feel like
just for the hell of it,
I feel like getting a kale salad.
I feel like
completely trash it and have a kale salad. Yeah.
With the exception of something like that, most people get greasy food.
Yeah, they do. And well, not only that, but again, you're eating certain foods and you're getting things that are causing water, and you're drinking alcohol. So two things that are going to cause water retention, and of course, you're going to swell up.
Oh, and also the time, like you guys buy into. I think Alex, you did at one point. Like you shouldn't eat after a certain hour.
Yeah, I still do.
Okay, what does that mean to you?
Most of the time, yes.
Well, the thing is, your body needs time to process the foods that you're doing, and if you're going to sleep, you shouldn't be eating anywhere after, in between that time. Like 5 hours before you're going to sleep, you shouldn't be having food after that time. So if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock, your meal should be probably around 5 or 6. Your body needs to process.
And generally, I do that. It's just like a lot of times if I'm like, if it's after a gig and
sure, yeah, there's always going to be
exceptions.
like
there's always exceptions. I'm not going to wait 5 hours to fall asleep after.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like like I've never had, like Alex, I don't know if that's like, if you actually talk to a doctor, is that the official, what they say? Like, I don't know what that is, like, oh, you shouldn't really eat anything 3 or 4 hours before you go to bed or whatever. Well, for the most part, we're all in pretty good shape and stuff. So, I mean, I don't think it's something we have to really worry about.
I'm not sure if
I wouldn't say
I'm
I'm getting
good
there,
shape.
I would say we're getting there. We're working on getting into good shape.
We're getting in shape.
Getting
in pretty good shape.
That's a good answer, Evan. I've lost some weight this last few weeks.
Shape.
So.
All right, I'm sorry. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. You're doing a good job.
You went down.
Oh, I was trying to give us a compliment.
All right.
We're not being. None of you are being scraped off the couch with a spatula to go to work. So,
no.
So, I mean, do you buy into that stuff? Like when you go out, eat and drink and stuff, it did not even cross your mind.
What do you mean?
Like, you shouldn't drink this. You shouldn't eat this after you drink. Like,
well, I think again, a healthy moderation. If for example, I'll take what me and Evan were discussing a few weeks ago, and when we were talking about like nutrition and diets. There's 21 meals that you consume in a week on average. It's 3 meals a day. If you want to indulge yourself in one of those, there's nothing wrong with that. But if half of those meals a week are indulgence, then you have are garbage and indulgence, then you have a problem. You have to kind of take a step back and say this doesn't work.
I do what's called the 90-10 rule, which means that you say if you do 21 meals a week, 2 of them can be cheat meals, and I usually save one of them for any sort of weekend, like dinner with friends or anything like that, because that would definitely be one of them. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I can either use up, like let's say I want to get takeout one night, or I want to have a nice like brunch, or make like a nice like big breakfast in the morning on the weekend, something like that. That's generally what I save them for.
Yeah, cheat days are definitely
cheat meals for me, at least.
Not cheat days, cheat meals. They keep correcting me on that too, Mike.
Who's that?
Everyone around me. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a cheat day coming up. Like, no, cheat meal. It's one meal. It's not the entire day.
Well, I guess you could do both, but the way I do it is meals.
Yeah. I think that's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah, cheat meal. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to just have a day. Because I thought about it. Because I don't have like a diet plan like that or anything. Like I eat pretty healthy for the most part. My thing was the money part of it. I was like, I want to start saving money. And like when I go out to the bars, like having drinks and food, like when I look at my credit card statement on Monday, I'm like, I just basically start spreading my paycheck all over town, and I'm like, that's got to stop. You know what I mean? I want to save money. So that's another reason why I don't like to eat out a lot and stuff. It costs money.
Yeah, because one concert reunion tour at the TD Garden's worth about 5 or 6 meals out.
We're gonna have one of those coming up later this year.
Yep. Actually, that's something we can. Shiny and Oh So Bright tour.
Yes.
So, yeah, from our last podcast, we were 50-50. We got one for Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins. We did get Pumpkins tickets. So
yeah, screw you, Eddie Vedder, and your stupid Ticketmaster plan.
Even on the Smashing Pumpkins Facebook page, a lot of people were complaining about not getting tickets. Which I was kind of surprised, because I wasn't thinking that I was skeptical of them playing at the Garden, because we just saw them a couple of years ago at the Orpheum, and there's still
it was a different tour.
That it's not sold out, but it sold pretty well.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that one. I've never seen Pumpkins. That's a good one to check off the list.
Yeah, I've seen Pumpkins. I've seen Zwan. I've seen Billy Corgan solo, but I haven't seen them.
Did you see William Patrick Corgan solo?
No,
we buried that last time.
Solo album, he didn't come around here, unfortunately. He just did. That was like a very scaled back, limited. I mean, they didn't promote the album too much. It was just kind of a solo thing he did. And then he just played, I think, in LA, Chicago, and maybe New York. So it wasn't. He didn't come around with like a big show or anything with that one. It was just.
Did that leave you with
playing piano and
sadness?
Okay, here comes all the references. Hey, by the way, speaking of rock stars and like getting back, have you guys like in the last 10 years seen Trent Reznor?
Oh, that dude's jacked.
He's not a skinny punk rocker anymore.
No.
He hasn't been since With Teeth.
Yeah.
When was that? I don't know.
2005, I think. 2004 or 5 was With Teeth.
Yeah.
And when he came, when you saw that video, I'm like, when did he get biceps?
Yeah, like he's gone. He went from being that sort of ideal, like that 9-inch nail, long haired, dark, almost depressed looking skinny guy to now
To Joe Rogan.
To like a Joe Rogan
musical ability
politician who wears suits now sometimes.
Yeah. And the music, but
it's a change for the better.
Kind has also like gone a lot more muscular than it used to be. Just a lot of synthesizers, but it's gotten a lot more muscular.
There was an article he did with NPR, and he said, "I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago." And that you go through phases and changes and stuff. Like he's not going to be the same dark, depressed guy all his life,
It would be unhealthy if you were the same person you are today that you were 20 years ago.
Now I want to have him do a children's album.
You want him to? I hurt myself today.
This is we don't. Not everyone has to be the Verve type of wake up.
I know, but I mean, he could do a song about pigs and have it be a children's song.
I don't know. I still think he's got that. Yeah, I don't know if he's got that in him.
I don't think he's got that in him either. That would be disturbing.
Yeah,
that's why I want to hear it.
You want a disturbing children's album? We may need to edit this out.
No. We are not cutting that out.
Yeah, I think this needs to be cut too.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, good for him, and I actually have never seen Nine Inch Nails. That would be something I'd like to check off my list.
I've seen them like 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Good band, though. I always like them.
Seeing them, but I kind of want to be a little bit more restrained after this whole Guns N' Roses, U2, Alice in Chains.
I may need to.
Pumpkins.
I think I'm good for the year, unless something awesome comes out that you guys find out about. So
because I'm let's see. I'm also seeing Elton John in September. So
yes, I remember that.
The Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour.
That's it, huh? He's done.
He's done.
Sad.
Yeah, never a huge. I mean, I like some Elton songs, but I'm not a huge fan.
Oh, have you guys heard? Have you guys seen the new? There's a new Netflix comedy called Everything Sucks.
I've seen it.
No, I haven't. Tell me.
Well, it's okay. So it's a. But you know how? Well, did you see Stranger Things?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay, so you know how that's completely like 80s nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Everything Sucks is 90s nostalgia. It's a comedy. It's a kind of a half-hour comedy about a bunch of kids in a high school.
It's kind of that Saved by the Bell spoof kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, like a spoof on the 90s.
Yeah, so
Everything Sucks sounds like a 90s reference.
90s nostalgia all the way. You'll hear Verve Pipe. You'll hear Space Hog. You'll hear Mighty Mighty Ballstones.
Oasis.
Yeah. And at the end of one of the episodes, she's singing a nice cover of Rocket Man Rocket Man. So
that's the last episode I saw. But the episode's in the 90s. It's supposed to take place in the 90s.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s. Obviously, that's not a 90s song, but it reminded me of it. So just check out if you're like us, if you're a 90s kid, check out Everything Sucks off of Netflix.
I think I'd like that.
Show.
Is it like very? It's a comedy? You said, right?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yep.
So speaking of that, Alex, we were just talking about this. So that's on Netflix. Alex, you got rid of your cable since last time, huh?
I got rid of my cable. I just after the Super Bowl, I was like, all right, I have no use for you, Comcast.
So did you call or did you just march down to the office and
just drop a stern
slam your modem on the counter and said, "I'm done"?
Take your cables back.
I was polite about it, but yeah, I went and dropped it off, canceled my service, and paid off the remaining balance and called it a day.
Did they try to get you back? And you said nope.
No, it did. I think everyone's realizing that the switch is coming from, instead of paying $200 to $300 a month on cable, you're spending $30 a month between these digital outlets like Hulu and Amazon Prime and Netflix.
If you don't mind me asking, how much are you saving?
Enough.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, just from those numbers you gave. I mean,
yeah.
But I'm sure we can make a bigger topic out of it someday. But what do you recommend for streaming to get shows?
I got to tell you, between Netflix and Hulu, I'm good.
Okay, so you can find pretty much stuff you're looking for between those two.
Hulu has This Is Us. Netflix has, Seinfeld doing comedians in cars getting coffee, and that Everything Sucks show's pretty good.
But where could you catch like football games or?
I think you can do Yahoo streaming for football games.
Okay, so you could stream on Yahoo.
Yeah, or that could even be your cheat meal time. You get lunch while the Patriots are on somewhere.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Actually, so this is funny. We're speaking of cable. That was something I was weighing out between get cable or go to a bar and get like 1 or 2 beers or a meal, and which would be cheaper. And it turns out just going to a bar,
It's cheaper.
like once a week and have a couple beers to watch one football game is much cheaper than
getting cable. Absolutely.
Are you especially if you're not even including the cost of the beers that you'd buy at home and that you would buy and drink.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do Netflix. I don't have Hulu, but I do have Amazon Prime, and that helps because I get like Curb Your Enthusiasm and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's on Hulu or not, but I think if I cancel Comcast, I'll get Hulu.
Yeah, I think Curb is on, and like I think the network shows are usually on Amazon Prime, but I know that there are some episodes of Showtime stuff on Hulu. So
cut the cord.
Cutting the cord.
Isn't that what that Shinedown song's about? Canceling cable?
It is.
Huh.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shinedown, very much. I've cut the cable cord.
Hasn't been using like product placement yet for anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not that good of a song. It just has the theme that's interesting about it.
Okay.
So what's in your? We'll kind of do the thing we always do. What's in what's on your playlist?
What's on your playlist? Well, we talked about shows we're watching, so let's go to music wise.
Okay, well, I actually want to bring something up that I got into from Alex from the last time. He was talking about the band Goodbye June, Charge Up the Power.
Oh, okay.
Great song.
Yeah.
Great song. Yeah. Yep. And you weren't sure where it was from. It was from Raw. It is from a bumper song in Raw, like going into commercials or whatever.
Okay.
Because I underneath the YouTube comments is what everybody kept saying. So, but yeah, great song. It kind of has like I can't put my finger on what they sound like.
Yeah, it's got a good.
It's classic rock, almost sort of like Shinedown meets AC/DC vibe to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something. It's got that similar vibe to like Greta Van Fleet.
Ooh, yeah, I love Greta Van Fleet.
On that same genre, because I'm looking for more. Do you have any recommendations of kind of like workout music, rock like that? Anybody's been listening to?
Greta Van Fleet's a good start.
Yep.
Workout. I'm into the more like mellow stuff, but when I work out, like Bruce Springsteen's good. Metallica's great.
Yeah, there we go.
Metallica's always great for a workout.
But I mean, that's not like, hey, check out this band, Metallica. It's not news.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah, there's this little unknown band right from San Francisco, man.
I'm talking more like Goodbye June.
Buy their T-shirt, support the artist.
That's right.
Yeah. And no Brandy Carlisle. That's Starbucks sitting down sipping a hot chocolate music.
How dare you, sir? Brandy Carlisle.
It is. Yeah. That's the only place I've ever seen her CDs.
Yeah, that's what I like it about it.
I mean, it has a time. It's got a time.
She's a talented songwriter.
Yeah, it's got a time.
If I was hosting a dinner party or like had a girl over for dinner, I'd probably play that album.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this week not so much.
This week, actually, I've kind of taken the Wayback Machine to.
All right. What are you back into?
I listened to Hinder this week.
Yeah, good thing. We saw them, right?
Terrible.
They're good. They were a great live band.
There we go. Is this the night we saw them on like a Tuesday night doing redheaded slut shots?
Doing redheaded sluts and
shots. That's a drink, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, we all have different tastes. So
Hinder and Redheaded Slow. Oh, this is not 2008 anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was actually 2006.
Nothing
so
wrong
there.
In 2018.
So we were innovators.
Yeah.
I'll still take a redheaded person.
No, I won't take a redheaded slut drink. I will avoid that as much as possible.
Who said I was talking about the drink? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll keep the gingers around.
I like gingers, yeah.
But yeah, I got pretty.
But yeah, no. So you're back into Hinder?
I just all of a sudden I'm like, wow, these songs, I hadn't heard them in a while. I'm like, all right, there we go.
Well, instead of looking back, I'm looking forward. I'm checking out the new Vertical Horizon. Talk about a hot new band there.
Ooh. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't like them?
Why would you move that?
I'm just kidding. I just one more thought. They did the song All American Nightmare, right, Hinder?
Hinder, yeah. Well, that's just it. I wasn't listening to their first two albums. I was listening to the last two that the original lead singer was in. I'm like, wow, these albums, are kind of are very party rock, but it's like it still had a good vibe to it.
Yeah. So you're back into Vertical Horizon. I didn't know they're still around.
Well, I think at this point, is the only original member is the lead singer, and that's kind of the way of a lot of '90s bands, like Fuel, bands like that. But yeah, I should. And here I go saying, let's get something current. Let's stop listening to Hinder, and then I say, oh, by the way, check out the new Vertical Horizon. But it's the
song "Everything You Want" in 2000.
No, they just came out with an album this past Friday called The Lost Mile. They streamed it on Billboard.com, and it's very, you can tell, it's not what you expect. It's very, like, you can tell he had a lot of influences like New Order, Joy Division. It's a lot more electronic oriented than the Vertical Horizon that you remember. But it's there's a lot of really good songs on it. As somebody who's been following them for a while, it was kind of, you always take a gamble when you drift apart from your sound, but I think it paid off in this case just because it sounds fresh.
Well, I mean, he's besides Vertical Horizon, he does a lot of writing.
I believe he went to Berkeley too, so he's a pretty skilled musician. From what I
know, he's from Massachusetts, Matt Scannell.
I think he did go to Berkeley.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but
if you can be in a music session with Neil Peart from Rush, you've got chops.
You got some, yeah.
Yeah, he also writes with Richard Marx and does other things like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of bands that I'd have on if I was having a girl over for dinner.
Richard Marx.
Why would you have Richard Marx?
Oh, that's a like instant charmer right there.
I think that's calling it an early evening. I think that's what that's called.
Let me put on some Richard Marx and get this party.
Yes.
Yeah, Richard Marx, Air Supply.
Dude, you stick to the '80s, huh? With your love, with your love
vibes.
Chris Isaac. You can't forget Chris Isaac.
Oh boy. Oh, hey, okay. Hey, all the power to you. Just let me know how this works. If it works, I'll start doing it. I have no problems with taking lessons. If it works, just give me the heads up.
It doesn't work.
Have you tried, Alex?
I don't need to try Richard Marx.
And nothing wrong with a little Richard
We
Marx.
can talk about that another time. How I don't think all three of us. I mean, I could be wrong. Seem like the romantic types, but who knows?
Well, I don't think I'm joking when I say that. I don't know if I could pull off the. It takes a skilled person to pull off that kind of like put on the Richard Marx and
Kenny G and see what happens.
That's you know what that is right there. That's initiative.
No,
that's accepted.
That's not bold, and fortune will not favor that.
Well, I don't know many Richard Marx songs. I just know that one big hit, and that was more of a missing someone song. So it doesn't strike me as something you want to put on and make love to. So.
Nah, I've been listening to the new Vertical Horizon, and you were speaking about like upbeat music to work out to. Michael Franti and Spearhead. You ever heard of them?
Nope,
I have not. No.
It's more like reggae rock, a little bit like Sublime Bob Marley-ish. That's
a hard pass from Alex.
Pass. Party's
No, I
over.
mean, it's not. It's more. I don't know. I just if you look, so you don't like any sort of reggae or funk rock.
I like funk rock. I don't like reggae.
Is it like Sublime type sound?
Well, it's hard to describe. It's more. I think it's more Bob Marley-ish than
Because I do like that.
I
There's a
think
time
the
and
only-
place for
yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kinda.
And it's called Never.
No. Like we were talking about drinking, time and place for things. Like for me, music has a time and place. Like Jack Johnson stuff, like beach.
Yeah. Oh no, this would be great music for the beach.
Yeah.
I like 311, but that's as reggae-ish as I can go, and it's in doses.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, it's not that dissimilar to 311. So it's just less rapish. It's more like the mellower, like Amber.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, I like that
Beautiful
song.
design. Well, not actually. That's not all mixed up. The non-rapish stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So you work out to that? That's a good workout song. Is that what you're saying?
Michael Franti and Spearhead.
All right.
Hard pass.
So, that should be another segment. Is it a hard pass?
Hard pass.
I
right, so
hard
it's-
pass you. I hard
so it-
pass you.
We're taking a hard pass on early Hinder and Vertical Horizon / Richard Marx and
No,
reggae.
hey, no hard passing on Vertical Horizon. No, it's all right if you hard pass on Richard Marx,
one
but
can
don't
pass
dash Vertical Horizon.
Yeah, I pass on American reggae.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
So what's going on? Anything new with the band, or is it still recording?
We are still in the demoing process. We will be still hitting the studio in April.
Right now, we're doing things in an interesting way because, well, I guess it's not so interesting nowadays because a lot of artists are collaborating via computers online.
Well, the thing is, it's only two of us going into the studio at this point, so it makes more sense to record the tracks separately than put them together for the demo and then record them the right way when we're in the studio.
Yeah. So we do it in an interesting way where Alex will record the melody and the basic structure of the song. He'll record that and send it to me. I will then actually record a kind of a digital drum track. So I send that drum track back to him, and he overdubs his guitar and vocals onto it.
So you can theoretically make an album as a band and not be together, or is it still better to all be together?
It's better to be all together, but in theory you can. I think they're similar to other things. I think it's more effective when you're all playing together.
But yeah, well, the other thing is that's a band scenario. A lot of solo albums are probably more done this way because you have people going in and out depending on their schedules. You'll have the songwriter record the sketch of their idea and communicate what kind of sound they want it to sound like. Then you'll have the session, like say you have a rhythm section. They'll lay down their basic tracks, and then if the guitar or any whatever instruments doing the melody could be on top of that, and then the vocals on top of that.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing it in a way to prepare us better for the studio, and it's also a little more convenient because in this, for example, I worked on a drum track yesterday. I sent it over via Dropbox to Alex today, and because of the weather, we decided not to rehearse. But now he's got a few drum tracks of mine that he can choose from to work on.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've already gone over the half hour. Do you guys want to cut it?
Yeah, I think
I'm
we're
just saying before, I want to chill and talk to you guys, but I'm just saying for the podcast sake, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Okay.
I know you have to do some editing.
Thank you guys
but
for
sorry.
tuning in. See you in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you
Thanks
guys
very
next
much
time.
for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.